Well, it's about time I do something like this. So today we're going to be changing out the hydrofoil, the Stingray hydrofoil. It's a two-piece one, adjustable to different outboards. We're going to change that out for get used to this camera work. An OZ hydrofoil from Oz Propellers up at Maroochydore. It's a 1G grey. It is to suit the Yamaha two-stroke outboard. So speaking to the guys, I'm going to reuse these four mounts, and I've also got some Sikaflex to put between the new hydrofoil and the cav plate as per their instructions. So drill these holes into the blank hydrofoil. Probably add an extra hole up here if I've got room, because it's probably a little bit longer. Bearing in mind I don't want to get up any closer up here because I won't have enough thickness of material. I would say I'd want to at least come in about halfway on the cav plate at least. I don't want to have any holes up here, but no doubt the hydrofoil is not going to reach all the way up to the front. So we'll see how we go. I'll set the camera up and take you through it. You can remove the prop if it makes life easier. So we'll get started. So as we said, going to be fitting the Oz hydrofoil 1G grey. We open up the box. You get your bolts, you get the hydrofoil, and simple instructions. So as they suggest, you want to be about 20 to 30 mil in from the very end to your last hole, 20 to 30 mil in to your back hole, and then 15 off the cav plate. So I'd say the holes I got there are a little bit different to that, but we'll try and work with the holes we got rather than adding our own holes. So we're going to start with a 3.2 mil drill bit and then step it up to a 6.5 because they're 6 mil bolts, or 1/4 inch I would say. I haven't checked, but we'll go ahead and mark it up. So as you can see, there's the old hydrofoil and there's the new hydrofoil. So it's going to sit forward about another 40 mil. Width wise, it's about 100 mil overall, maybe 80 mil narrower. But you can see the different profile of the two hydrofoils. There's it overlaid one over the other, just like so. So we're going to be sitting a bit further forward, and it's a pretty close match to the silver or the grey of the outboard. So I put some masking tape on here, which was probably a bad idea because I couldn't see the edge properly. So I've marked the centre of this opening, and then I've measured from one side of the cav plate to the other and checked to see if that's centre. So it is centre. There's the centre of the opening on the hydrofoil, which I'll also maybe put a tape measure against here to the outside, there to the outside, just to double check. Probably doesn't mean much if it's a couple of mil out, I'm not entirely sure, but if I can get this 100%, then I know that I've done everything correct. So I did mark on the cav plate up here, but I put the clamp in the way, but that's fine. I'll move the clamp down and I'll be able to see my mark. But I just have to get the distance between there and there the same on both sides, and then I'll be able to reuse the two back holes, and then I'll just drill a front hole according to their instructions. So I pushed it up hard up against the back of the leg, but it sort of wanted to jump up every time I did that. So I just pushed it in, eyeballing down here, seeing where it sits. It does sit a little proud, but it sits the same the whole way along. So just the moulding on the leg is doing that. So I've got it as far forward before it kicks up, which is pretty well good at the back here. So I'm just marking the lines, even though they are the same and it's even, just marking them on there. And then on the top of the hair, so I've got a bit of a reference. I have pre-marked the bottom. So there we got our lines for reference. And then on the underside, I said those holes are fairly close, which is against what's written in the specification for the hydrofoil from OZ propeller. But I'll drill these two, and then I'll come in the correct distances up here so that it all lines up. But you can see we've got a fair bit of meat to play with. So there's our holes. So it measures 34 mil from there to there, so I've just gone halfway. It would have been nice to be able to have them all line up in a straight line, or even on the angle to follow the contour, but that's just what we're going to have to live with. These two are probably the only ones that are odd ones out. These ones here aren't too bad. So there's the holes drilled on the underside. So I'm just going to line it up now, put the bolts in for these four, and that way line up all my other marks and then mark those two holes on the calf plate. All bolted on, check all my alignment markings, sorry, and then I'll mark for these holes. I will pre-drill down, careful not to take the paint off on here, and then I'll come up from the underside. If I have any issues, I'll just have to mark where it goes and then and drill from the underside. So here we have it all cleaned up with the wax and grease remover, looking all nice and pretty, and all the bolts tightened up. So as you can see, it's a nice snug fit, looks factory, and it's ready to head out and get some water on it.